What's up, and welcome back to the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. A full house filtering their way inside Stadium Putra, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Our aggressive inline vert prelims coming your way, and a packed house ready to watch the action, as we know it's going to be a classic battle between the Yasutoko brothers out here on this vert ramp this week. Each skater getting 2 50-second runs. It's scored on a 100-point scale. Top 10 going on to the final with a chance to skate for gold and the right to represent Asia at X Games 10 in LA. Xiao Baokui out of China. Some highlights from his run in the prelims.
Getting upside down, up and over the coping. Every rider is going to try and show a lot of different elements, getting inverted. Also going to throw those airs and the grinds.
Jun Suzuki out of Japan, 57 3/4, puts him in 10th place.
Invert on the coping, and there's a little hover flip, 540. Back to back, uh-oh, take a seat, Jun.
Hisashi Inagaki, 65.5, puts him in 9th.
Going backside Royale, right into the 540 invert.
Ayumi Kawasaki, the only girl in the field with the courage to rip it up with the boys, a la Fabiola da Silva.
Yeah, and actually Ayumi's been doing it for about as long as Fabiola has. She's just taken a break the last couple of seasons to concentrate on her schooling, but now she's back and rededicated to skating, and look at these tricks that she's got. Very good run from Ayumi out here competing against the boys.
Right on, and Ayumi moving up into first place. Shui Iwata out of Japan, 13 years old.
Holy moly, 720, way out of the coping, at least for a 13-year-old. Some good moves, going topside sole, alley Bassett.
Shui moving into second place with 78 1/4. And let's hear from Eito Yasutoko before he takes his first run.
In the Asian X Games, there are a lot of Asian fans, and I'm so happy to skating in the Asia for the competition. It's so happy for me.
Well, Eito Yasutoko is certainly one of the, if not the most dominant force in inline vert.
Well, as a package, the Yasutoko brothers certainly are the most dominant force. I think we're about to see a difference in the a major difference in the caliber of skating here in this contest as Eito takes a ramp. Going flat spin over the channel, and watch the height that he's able to maintain throughout this run. 720, setting up right into a backside. Able to pack so many tricks into a single run, and something that you'll notice about Eito is here in the prelims, he's not taking as many chances. He knows that his skating is good enough that he can take a semi-secure run and still do well enough to be seated high in the finals.
Taking a little chance there at the end.
It's just a testament to how good his skating is, that when he throws it, even when he throws a double backward, he still knows it's a safe run for him.
91 points even puts Eito on top of the leaderboard ahead of younger brother Takeshi. Ayumi Kawasaki, the young lady in the field, currently sitting in 3rd. And look at the big name, Cesar Mora up there on the board. And a look at Takeshi, Ayumi, and the rest of the field as we get set for Tomohiko Nakamura, run number 2.
Well, Takeshi's been on the Pro Tour since he was 9 years old, so it's no huge surprise that we're seeing a lot of Japanese skaters coming out very young with a lot of good skills already.
Takayuki, 71 1/4, improves on his first score, currently sitting in 7th place.
It's really incredible when you consider that this young rider is only 10 years old, and yet he's out here competing against the top guys like Eito and Takeshi and Cesar Mora.
Yeah, well, you see that G skates? It means he's skating with those guys on a regular basis. Sam Fogarty coming up next, a veteran skater. Let's get his take on the week out here in KL.
I feel fine. I've been skating a little bit. Don't really care, just out to have fun and get to hang out in KL and go out. So that's a bit of a bonus when there's a competition as well.
Yeah, just getting to travel the world. Oh yeah, and there's a ramp there too. Sam Fogarty, who we've seen tear it up on the street course, now trying to show you what he's got on the vert.
Well, speaking of tearing it up, how about that back pocket? Looks like those pants are falling apart. It goes backside royale on the coping, right into the topside acid. Sam's got some good grinds on the coping, and now this fakie 900 is a relatively new trick for Sam.
80.75, Sammy in 4th place. Cesar Mora out of Australia, currently sitting in 6th.
Yeah, Cesar's been battling with injuries the last couple of seasons. He'd like to come out here and have a good start to this new season. Wants a strong performance here at Asian X. Going 720, setting up for fakie 900. Now, Cesar really was one of the first riders ever to do that kind of big combination, big trick right into a fakie 900. Now, of course, it's become one of the staples of most pro riders' routines, but Cesar was right there at the forefront, going into the front flip. Dusting that one off from the old show days. Not a bad run for Cesar.
84.25 puts him in 3rd place behind the Yasutoko brothers, and here comes Takeshi Yasutoko. His first run put him in 2nd place behind his brother Eito, and Takeshi looking to steal a little thunder right now.
Well, we've seen it a lot where Takeshi comes out of the prelims seated #1 only to lose in the finals to his brother, because we saw Eito tends to take it a little safer in the prelims. Takeshi, just with his amplitude, is usually the most impressive rider in the prelims. But once it gets into the finals and Eito starts bringing out his huge tricks, oftentimes it's just too much to contend with. Fakie 270 backside royale. Now, one interesting note is that when Takeshi has his best chance against Eito and the most success is when he's using the coping, and when in addition to his big Viking flips and his huge airs, he's able to bring out some really difficult grinds. Going disaster over the channel to backside rail, so showing that he might take some chances when we get into the finals. But so far in the prelims, a very impressive run, and of course that signature amplitude that just makes him one of the most exciting skaters on tour.
Well, Takeshi definitely shaking things up. 93.5 puts him in 1st place over Eito. Cesar in 3rd, Fogarty in 4th, Ayumi Kawasaki in 5th place. Top 10 moving on to the finals, rounding it out, Chao Bao Kui and Hisashi Inagaki out of Japan. For Arlo Eisenberg, I'm Keith Allen, leaving you with some images of Takeshi Yasutoko taking the #1 spot in the prelims. Stick around, because when we come back, we head back outside for our men's bouldering semi-final at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Welcome back outside for our men's bouldering semi-finals. Our climbers getting ready to solve the first problem, that first wall. We call it Tombstone, and our evil route setter, Timmy Fairfield's going to take us through the paces of what kind of climbing qualities it takes to solve these walls.
Hello, my name is Timmy Fairfield. I'm a professional rock climber, and I'm the route setter for this year's Asian X Games bouldering competition. The boulder problems that we're setting are creatively innovated so that we will test some of the necessary qualities of the competition climbers. These main qualities are agility, explosiveness, and focus. The climbers will have to use their bodies creatively, integrating their flexibility and their nimble attributes and their balance, along with the explosiveness, which is their timing and strength combined. All the while, they will have to maintain their focus, relying on themselves to be lucid, relaxed, and direct their energy properly at the right moment. In addition to the physical attributes that these athletes will need to be successful, I feel that there are some cerebral attributes also necessary. They are being intuitive, creative, and analytical. The climbers will have to analyze the problem and come up with solutions. Sometimes if the solutions are not linear, they will have to create solutions and adapt to the climbing movements and maybe even invent a movement. When they climb, they will have to forget about being analytical and creative and be instinctive, relying on their intuition to react naturally as they climb.
Hey, don't let him fool you. Timmy's just a climber. I've never even heard him use big words like cerebral. But let's see what kind of cerebral power Christian Guerrero from the Philippines has as he works his way up and over the ledge of Tombstone. He tops out on the first wall. Remember, the tiebreaker will be the time on this first wall. Each climber getting 2 minutes to solve each problem. Maximum scores are reflected there. Total score counts. Top 15 advance into the final. James Cassay out of Australia, 19 years old, a former Junior X champion, now working his way up and over this overhanging section of Tombstone. The brick right there, a separating portion of this course. You got to get up and over that thing if you want to get to this ledge. Cassay up and over the ledge. He reaches for the top box. He tops out. 2 climbers up, topping out. 19.9 seconds. And Lai Chi Wai out of Hong Kong, 21 years old, a former speed climber, now taking it to the bouldering competition. Look at the strength right there as he hangs on to that yellow hold and now needs to work up and over the ledge to top out on Tombstone. 2 moves to go to make it up and over this ledge. He is methodically working his way up, trying to save his strength. A dynamic move to reach for the top box, and he too tops out on Tombstone. Lai Chi Wai from Hong Kong in second place.
我 practice 嘅時候都做唔到，但係可能大家俾咗啲 power， 我俾咗啲 support 我，咁所以我就可以 first time 就可以 top 咗條 wood。
Mohammed Hamizan of Malaysia, 15 years old. This kid silver medal last year in the Junior X event. You know what? He's feeling confident. He says, hey, I'm ready to run with the big dogs. He now works his way up and over the brick and now through this overhanging section. Oh, looking for a dynamic move to make it to the top hold and can't quite top out. Mohammed Hamizan sits in 4th place. Nurmansyah Kahir out of Indonesia, 20 years old, took 4th place at the Asian Climbing Championships in China. He now works past the brick. He's on that last hold and makes it to the top spot. He tops out. Time of 36.68 puts him in 4th place. Kim Ja-ha out of Korea, 19 years old, the Asian Championships champion from 2003. Certainly got to be a favorite out here as he works his way up into this overhanging section. A small ledge here towards the top of Tombstone. We've seen several climbers top out here already, and he does the same. Kim Ja-ha in 4th place with a time of 32.15 up Tombstone. Kim Dong-hyun, also from Korea, 30 years old, working his way past the brick. Very few holds on this wall. In years past, the route setters putting up a lot more, how should I say, dummy holds, trying to mislead the climbers. A few of them still on the wall, but right now, look at the dynamic start it takes to get up this wall. That handhold, truly a handhold, it's a fist. Futoshui Maruki out of Japan took 4th place in 2002 at the Asian X. He works his way up into this brick section. And he'll now get a foot up on that brick to try and take some of the pressure off of his fingers as that lactic acid surely building up. One more big hold and he greases it, can't get a hold of it to get up over the ledge. He sits down in 13th place. Tan Chi Ping out of Singapore, 25 years old, works his way past the brick and now into this overhanging section. 1 hold to go, a dynamic move to get up there, and he pulls it off. A lot of climbers topping out on Tombstone. We're gonna have to divert back to their run scores, to their times, to settle those tiebreakers. Akito Matsushima on top after 1 wall. Still to come, oh yeah, baby, we're heading out to the Mines Resort, the wakeboard semifinals. The boys having a good time on a beautiful day in KL. Still to come, our Flatland finals from inside Putra Stadium as Asia's best do battle for Flatland gold. And coming up next, wall number 2, Tsunami yet to be solved in the men's bouldering semifinals.
James Cassie from Australia.
James, yeah, he's amazing.
Probably the Australian, James.
I think Australia might win, but I'm not really sure.
I think it will be the Japanese, I think.
I think Korea.
James.
Well, it sounds like James Cassay is a favorite out here. We'll have to see if he can hold up what's charged as our climbers getting ready, and James Cassay working his way up the wall here. Love that hold on the chain, swinging right there. James Cassé working his way up tombstone, this second and more difficult of the two problems out here today. Up and over this difficult overhanging section. He uses his strength and looks like he's got a lot left as James Cassé tops out on both walls, sitting in first place with a perfect score. Mohammed Hamizan bin Yusuf out of Malaysia had a little bit of a problem topping out on the first wall. Look at him using the chain. What a dynamic hold. These route setters have put together an awesome course this year. I love the dynamic elements they put, some new holds that we've never even seen before, and these climbers are required to actually swing their way towards that hold to get a grab. Mohammed Hamizan out of Malaysia, swinging and gets a hold of it. He now works his way up to this ledge. A lot of lactic acid building up. He is working purely on adrenaline right now to get past this hold. Doesn't have the strength left to do it. Mohammed Hamizan sitting in third place. Kittipong Klawakla out of Thailand, currently sitting in 19th place. Top 15 will advance. And Kittipong, no problem swinging into that hold, but has a problem with the dynamic move getting over the ledge. Hafsanizam Bakori out of Malaysia, currently sitting in 12th place. He's swinging from the chain. Check this out. Cross to the right-hand side of the wall, hooking onto it, no problem. Now you got to dig deep and have some strength. A tiny little finger hold up there, but he's got his foot down on the big hold, taking some pressure off the fingers. Now going to try and lunge, a dynamic move to top out, and can't quite control the hold. He sits in third place. Nurmansyah Kahir out of Indonesia, currently sitting in 15th place. That is the bubble position to make the cut. Makes the move across the wall after swinging from the chain. We haven't seen too many people make it up this wall. This is a tough section, a very dynamic move to get up to that red box where you got to top out. Controlling the hold, can't do it. He's gonna drop. Very close, but enough for fourth place right now for Nurmansyah, enough to qualify. Sun Sang-won out of Korea took third place, a bronze medal last year at the Asian X. Swinging for the bell chain, yeah. That's like Tarzan style right there. And he now advances up and over this overhang. Use the strength in your legs to launch up a dynamic move and controls the hold. Sun Sang-won out of Korea tops out on both walls. Crowd loving the action out here as Kita Mogaki out of Japan works his way up and through this overhanging section, swinging off the chain, controlling the hold, and now advancing to this top section, reaching for a little chalk. He knows he needs the traction. Gonna try and get his legs on that bottom hold and spring his way towards that top box. Greases the hold and can't hang on to it. Keita Mogaki out of Japan sitting in third place. Now we look to defending gold medal champion Akito Matsushima. Let's have a word.
そうですね。考えたことないんですけど、正直やってて辛いですね。でもなんか続けててやっぱりできると達成感があるんで、その達成感をなんか達成した時にはすごい充実感があって、辛いけど頑張ってるみたいな。
Well, trying to keep that motivation from last year's gold medal in check and working his way through the overhanging section of Tsunami. So tough through this inverted portion of the wall. A dynamic move, a double dyno move to get to the chain, the bell chain, where he now has to swing into this hold on the right. Perfect execution, not wasting energy as he only takes one swing to get to the hold. Now methodically moving his way up into this overhanging section. Check out the dyno move. Greases it. Can't hang on to it, and he can't believe it. Akito Matsushima, the defending champion, sitting in third place. Futoshi Maruki out of Japan, currently down in 19th place. He needs to get up to a high section of this wall if he wants a chance of qualifying for the finals. He's now in a very difficult position. A lot of lactic acid building up. He's got to get his feet on that hold to get some energy to lunge up for that double dyno move to get to the red box and top out. Stuck on the overhang right now, out of juice. And Futoshi Maruki enough to qualify, sitting in 9th place. Jae-Yong Lee out of Korea, one of the most dominant climbers we have ever seen at Asian X. This guy has medaled time and time again. He is a climbing machine. Jae-Yong Lee, consummate showman as well, working his way into this overhanging section. He says, hey, I'm doing just fine. You guys keep the noise up. Give me a little energy and a little love. Oh, Jae-Yong Lee cannot hang on to the top spot. 7th place in the semifinals. After both walls, James Kasei, the #1 qualifier out of Australia, Futoshi Moruki out of Japan in 10th, rounded out the top 15, Thailand's Kittipong Klawakla. Hey, coming up, we're heading out to one of the world's premier wakeboard venues. The wakeboard semifinals coming up next in the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Welcome back to Paradise, the place we call the Mines Resort, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, home to the wakeboard semifinals. Good crowd enjoying the vibe out here on the beach and checking out the action. A little bit of rain coming down in the semifinals, but you know what? No big deal. They're already wet. After round 1 qualifying, we're down to 2 heats of semifinal riders. 9 riders in each heat. Heat 1 including Japanese national champion Ryoji Yanagawa, defending Asian X champion Punyala Jumrong, Dean Smith, and Brett Eisenhower. Here's highlights of Tunan Mornkiat out of Thailand. 22.88 points put him in 8th place with this run. Damien Anwar out of Thailand inside the top 6 with 25.05. Had some good moments in his semifinal run. Keijiro Tokuhara out of Japan. 24.35 points puts him in 7th place. Big wound up 360 with a solid grab right there, looking stylish. Tatsunai Kwatkunrat out of Thailand. 34.56 put him in 5th place. Way out the back, off axis, leg grabs and handle passes, impressing those judges. 9 riders in the field, each getting 2 passes in that one run. Top 4 advancing into the final. It is a greater than 50% attrition rate, Todd. It's going to be tough to make the cut. When you see a Japanese man with cornrows, you know he's got to have style. It's Ryoji Yanagawa, the Japanese national champion. This guy has got some skills, and you know what? He's now a Projects team rider. He's moving to Florida this year. He is definitely going to be progressing his sport.
He's got some stylish moves, a method glide to start it out with. Doing a good job of showing the judges that he can do not only the spin tricks, also the inverted tricks. There's the whirly bird.
Little clip of the wake there on that whirly bird, but it's all right. It's a semifinals, and Ryoji knows he just needs to make the cut, be poised in a good position for the finals.
Nice conservative ride, showing the spin, going for the whirly bird.
Ryoji coming back in pass number 2. Way off axis, gets that grab on that backside 3. Back to the toe side, taking a good edge into it, taking that grab all the way across the wake.
Gets a bat wing. The judges again are seeing a wider range of riders this time in terms of what they're going to do off the wake. Pretty conservative for Ryoji, but a definitely good ride.
Ryoji definitely has his spin wired and smooth. 35.85 points puts Ryoji Yanagawa, the Japanese national champion, in 1st place. Punyala Jumrong out of Thailand wants to shake that up. He qualified 10th. He is the defending Asian X champion. Pass number 1, Adalota blasting out into the flats with an S-bend, taking it absolutely huge.
He likes that trick first because it puts him in the rhythm of the ride.
You see Lota holding those grabs all the way almost until the board lands. Big front flip, grabs it so late, just on the tail. Little extra style for those judges.
3 super huge maneuvers to start it off with, and he just tosses the handle on that. Watch this S-bend. This is huge. It's one of the biggest we've seen all day.
And look at the front. Gets a late grab on it for style and came up short after that. Pass number 2, Bunyalo looking for some redemption out here. He's really going to start charging because he wants a good seating position for the final.
Board a little bit out of control on the first 2 tricks, not getting the grab. You can see his hands out there waving at the crowd. That's because he can't find the board.
Bunyalo has a great ability to recover. If he's having trouble in a run, he's got a great ability to settle down and get it dialed back in.
Yeah, no kidding. This guy's going off. Get a good spin, a little slap on the rail. Judges like to see a little bit more of a grab on that. Once again, getting around without the grab.
Well, I think it's a little bit too hard the way I lost the handle. But no problem. After I got up, I knew I was going to make it.
Brett Eisenhower out of Australia, qualified 5th out here. But you know what? Ike, ranked number 2 in the world, getting on in years as a veteran rider. But you know what? He's had his best season yet in 2003.
You know, it's so interesting to watch this guy ride because you want to see him go so huge like he normally does. He's getting some of these tricks massive, other tricks he's taking really conservative. I think Ike knows what he needs to do to get to the finals.
Well, Ike's matured a lot as a contest rider. He used to just come out and go full tilt every time he took it to the wake, and it cost him some competitions. This year, he's settled down a little bit, focused his riding, and I'll tell you what, he's had consistent results throughout the season.
Still such a pleasure to ride. Pass number 2.
Big S-bend signature style out of Ike, taking it way out into the flats, back on the heel side.
See the Tootsie roll there. I'll tell you, Ike has really put a lot of things in his repertoire, in the arsenal, if you will, to make him one of the best riders in the world.
That was a look at his signature slim chance right there, and Ike hooking his edge on the wake and gets pulled out.
Man, what a giant S-bend. Follows that up with a giant slim chance, and watch him cutting in here for the Pete Rose. Just a little short coming around, cases the second weight and goes down.
Yeah, like you said, Keevy felt good out there. First pass, cruised it. Second pass, feeling nice, just really short course. So I come out of the front mode, looked at the end of the course, realized that she's coming up pretty quick. Cut in as just a little bit narrow and cased the second weight, got the handle. The trick felt nice, just lacking a little bit of distance, so next round I'll just have to take that front mobe a bit bigger so I land out wider and I've got more real estate to cut in for me, Pete.
Dean Smith out of Australia, the #1 qualifier. And I'll tell you what, at 19 years old, this kid has a huge future. Opens up, spinning super, super clean, and Dean Smith is a mobe master. He's got the tricks he needs to take home a top spot out here if he digs deep enough. On the heel side, Smith winding it way up. You see the late grab?
Man, that is style. It's also board control. You know you're in control when you can fix your shorts in between all of your passes.
That's a staple in wakeboarding, man. Are you kidding me?
Dean going with the suitcase grab, pulling it huge.
Look how relaxed he looks. That's the difference, man. You see no drama going from trick to trick. Dean Smith is comfortable, now maybe a little bit too relaxed because he just lost the handle.
Look how huge that was. The grab thrown in super late, super technical. Pulls in a little bit short.
Couldn't hang on to it. I don't think that's going to hurt Dean Smith a whole lot. Pass number 2, what I like to call redemption.
Boy, a lot of style coming into the wake. He really tweaks this board out when he gets a grab. The judges like to see that extra style poke.
And he's grabbing it just about every single trick.
Not even hurrying at all. He's got it together.
Well, he's riding relaxed out here, and that's the difference. Dean Smith knows exactly what he needs to do, and he knows where that board is at all times.
I haven't got 4 tricks on the second pass yet. I got 3 in the practice, 3 in the prelims, and 3 just then. So I think I need to rework my pass to maybe start toe side and get the extra trick in because I think it's letting me down a little bit.
Yeah, the short course is giving some of these guys some problems. Ike right now on top of the leaderboard. Dean Smith in second. Yoji Yanagawa in third. Punyala Zumrong, defending gold medal champion, takes the last spot in Heat 1 towards the finals. Coming up, Heat number 2 has got to take a bid. The top 4 will move on to the finals to compete for Asian X gold. Welcome back to the Mines Resort. Keith Allen and Todd Weatherall ready to take you through the Heat 2 action of the wakeboarding semifinals. Top 4 from the Heat of 9 moving on to the final round and a chance to go for the gold. Big names in Heat number 2 include Jeff Weatherall, the Kiwi, Manabu Nagatsuka out of Japan, Sato Takaiwa, who took home a podium spot last year. Masato opening up big, huge front, grabs it late. Now back to the toe side. Yeah, nice 540 out of Masato, scrunching it down a little bit, back on the heel side, hooking it up.
Nice whirly bird all outside the wake. Once again, I think the first 3 tricks in this run are going to get him some good points with the judges.
Oh, never had a chance, turned into a pelican dive. A little rain in his face, maybe making things a little bit more difficult for Masato here. There's the whirly bird, well executed. And now, pass number 2 wrapped up for the KGB. Bunch of rain coming down in his face, and Masato having to deal with the conditions right now.
Ever been on a motorcycle at about 60 miles an hour with bugs in your teeth? That's what the rain feels like when it pelts you on the chest, baby.
Masato trying to regain his composure here in pass number 2. There's the big Indy toe side back roll. Off axis with the 360, little case in the wake, but here's a look at that wrapped up KGB.
Excellent execution on that, pulling it around. Once again, not a bad job.
31.67. The judges think it's a pretty good job. Masato Takaiwa in first place. Jeff Weatherall out of New Zealand took the silver medal home last year, and he was not too happy about it. Pass number 1 out of the Kiwi. This guy's going to start charging, but you know what? He's still going to save a couple of tricks to show the judges in the final.
Saving, but still showing a repertoire. There's a toe side off axis 540. Huge whirly bird. Man, he must have been at least 10 feet on the outside of that wake.
Well, a Jeff Weatherall conservative run could still beat just about anybody in this field.
Oh, he does stylish, beautiful little poke off that.
And he's starting to land his tricks blind that are looking so natural and comfortable, it's almost scary.
Second pass, toe side Tootsie Roll. But man, I'll tell you, this guy has definitely got some tricks under his arsenal.
He's making his 7s look way too easy. They're looking a lot more like 540s the way he rotates his way through them. But Jeff Weatherall blasting so late on the rotation, so far off axis.
Taking his time. Look at this. This is just beautiful execution. Gets the poke on the grab. Judges are going to love this run.
41.33. Jeff Weatherall well in first place with that ride. Scotty Broom out of Australia. One of the riders that's been struggling with getting a good number of tricks in the short course. He opens up with an Indy tantrum, a little bit of a butt check right there. Back to the toe side right here, Todd.
Yeah, you mentioned the amount of tricks that he got in. Jeff getting like 9 tricks in on his pass. Scott's going to have to step it up considerably. I think he knows that. You might see him rush some tricks after this first pass. I tell you, looking really relaxed all the way through that first pass. Only grabbing about 4 to 5 tricks in. Gonna need to step it up a little bit on pass number 2.
Scotty Broom comes out blasting in this second pass, but as you said, is gonna have to try and increase the number of tricks that he's getting in the whole pass.
He's getting awful far down course. You might see him start rushing here just about now. Well, there we go. Just a little bit too far over the top. Doesn't quite pull it off.
A couple of big tricks that are going to help him score some points with the judges. 32.01 has Scotty Broom in second place. Manabu Nagatsuka, looking at some highlights of Manabu's ride, 30.87 has him in fourth. The style master out of Japan, Kosuke Mori, also out of Japan, who rode very well in the quarterfinals and just ended up missing the cut. top 4 advancing. Japan's Manabu Nagatsuka, Masato Takayawa, Australia's Scotty Broom, and the number 1 qualifier, New Zealand's Jeff Weatherall. We're coming back for more action from Stadium Putra. Our bike stunt flatland finals are coming up next with the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. All right, now we take it to the juniors, 15 and under for our Junior X Flatland event. A look at the Malaysian Rakamura team, and those kids definitely dialed in to the flatland scene out here. Muhammad Afiq bin Safudin from Malaysia took first place at the qualifying event in Kuala Lumpur.
Really dialed in, lots of original tricks. Watch his feet. Scuffing on the tire, gonna try to ride this one out. Don't want to dab down.
A little dab will do you in, but he hangs on to that one and rides out. 93.5 puts him in first place. Let's hear from Muhammad.
I think it's better than last year's ride. I'm so happy because I have done my best.
He has done his best, and here comes his fellow countryman Noor Mohammed.
Into a nice ride-in immediately. Trying to start off fast. These guys have to be nervous. Level of competition's improving every year so quickly. These guys learning so many tricks. It's amazing to me.
And the coolest thing about flatland to me is that everybody's got their own original style. 90 and a quarter for Noor and Muhammad Ibrahim bin Kamarudin.
Keep an eye on their feet. The more switches they make, the more difficult the trick is and the higher the score. A couple of switches right there. Riding it out clean, nice run.
And brakeless. 91 points even in run number 2 puts him in second place. Muhammad Afiq bin Safudin takes the gold. Muhammad Ibrahim earns silver, and Noor Muhammad Nurel earns the bronze. A sweep for Malaysia and Junior X Flatland. Now to the main events. We narrowed it down from over 30 riders in the bike stunt flatland prelims. We're now down to the final at Stadium Putra. As these guys getting dialed in, last minute adjustments and getting that vibe on for the final. Simon O'Brien, the number 1 qualifier.
Pretty calm, just keen to get it over and done with and ride the best that I can. It's just, I get nervous whether I'm going to ride good, you know, it's just, you want to impress yourself and feel good about yourself, so yeah.
Well, 2003 was the year for Simon where he took the gold here in Malaysia and backed it up in Los Angeles. Now we move on to finals action. This right here, the real deal.
Out of Korea, first time making it into the final at Asia X.
Kwon Seung Tak, 19 years old, the number 10 qualifier, just made the cut. Now it's time to shine.
They get 2 runs in the finals, best run counts, so they get 2 shots at putting down their best moves. A couple of touches right there.
80.5 points to open it up for Kwon. Each getting 2 90-second runs, scored on a 100-point scale. Best run counts. The beauty of that kind of frees them up for a little bit of breathing room if you don't have what you're looking for in run number 1. Some highlights from the rest of the field. Muhammad Reza out of Malaysia, 80 points right here in run number 1.
High speed spin, high degree of difficulty.
Pratsana Pratuma out of Thailand, 83 points, even put him in first place, shaking up that leaderboard.
Definitely put in a good run. Nerves not playing it.
Muhammad Fauzi out of Malaysia, 78 3/4 points, puts him in 4th place.
A little bit of a touch right there, but again, another great run for that guy.
Now for the Japanese contingent. 84 points even, moves him up that leaderboard into first place. Shinichiro Hara and Muhammad Eslan bin Abdul Ghaffar out of Malaysia. Full house of Malaysian fans rooting these guys on.
This guy had some really difficult moves. multiple switches, changing position all over the bike, clean ride out on that trick combo. And another one, high degree of difficulty. Call that the backpacker on the front wheel in a circle, backwards on the bike, and a nice jump over to ride out. Very clean, original style.
This is a sick run with all sorts of high-scoring elements in it.
See another switch right there, cross-footed.
And Mohammed Heslan moves up the leaderboard into first place after run number 1 with 86 points. York Uno out of Japan. He's 28 years old, no stranger to big contests.
Watch this guy ride. He's got some of the hardest tricks done in the world today. And if you can put it down in front of this big crowd at Asia X, that is difficult to do. Nerves definitely playing a part, as Simon O'Brien was stating. York doing a fine job right here on the front wheel.
Yeah, hopping his way around, switching it up, and York pulling it clean.
2 bar flips in that last combo.
High speed right there. Blink and you'll miss it.
So many switches already. Just all flawless. Makes it look so easy, but again, York's got some of the most difficult moves done today.
For whatever it's worth, it's not looking easy to me.
Goes off the bike, and that's nearly the end of his run. And here he is on the front wheel, spinning like a tornado. You can almost have to watch York in slow motion. He's got so many switches.
Yeah, 86.75 puts him up in first place. Now the defending champion, Simon O'Brien, admittedly a little bit nervous coming into this one, but he definitely has the skills to pull it off.
Absolutely does. 2 gold medals in his pocket from last year, and the #1 qualifier here, and that's exactly why. Huge degree of difficulty, so smooth.
Whoa.
And a little touchdown, but again, his difficulty is so high that the judges take that into account. You don't have to have a flawless run to win. Difficulty plays a huge factor in the judges' scores.
Simon O'Brien, 83.75 puts him in 4th place. Some highlights from Kotaro Tanaka out of Japan, tied for 4th place with this run.
Always one of my favorite riders to watch. Got a really high-speed, energetic riding style.
Ryoji Yamamoto, also out of Japan. This run put him in 7th place with 81 points.
Lots of original moves from Ryoji.
So after 1 of 2 runs, York Uno on top of the leaderboard. Mohammed Heslan in 2nd, Japan's Shinichiro Ohara in 3rd. Simon O'Brien, the #1 qualifier, sitting down in 4th place. Rounding it out, 2 Malaysians, Muhammad Fauzi in that number 10 spot.
Tomorrow at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota, only 3 gold medals are left. It's one last trip to the beautiful Mines Resort as the top 8 wakeboarders compete for gold and a qualifying spot to X Games 10 in LA. Physical strength, mental focus, and the determination to solve the routes up 2 walls will separate gold from the rest of the pack in the men's bouldering final. And Eto and Takeshi Yasutoko, the most dominant forces in inline vert, try to outdo each other for the last gold medal in the inline vert final. Catch the last day of action from Kuala Lumpur tomorrow here on ESPN.
Time to heat up that Run 2 action in our Flatland Finals from Putra Stadium. Time to find out who's going to take home the gold. Kutsana Pratuma out of Thailand had a good first run, put him in 6th place, trying to step it up right here in run number 2.
Has a very smooth style, lots of difficulty. Just want to not make too many mistakes. It's going to be pretty tough to get up onto that podium, though. All these guys, the top level in the sport. You can see gyrating the bike around his leg, try to gain a little speed to pull this one down. 2 switches right there, the clean ride out. Very high degree of difficulty.
Kutra improving his score. 86 points puts him up in second place. York Uno currently sitting in first place with 86 and change.
Had a great first run. He's got the difficulty to improve that score.
High speed. Whoa!
Taking his hands off on that too and just sliding out. But again, the difficulty's so high.
Well, his first run going to be the one that sticks. York still holds on to that #1 spot. Simon O'Brien took the gold medal here last year, earned the invitation to the U.S., took the gold medal at X Games 9 in L.A.
Had a great year last year. A couple of mistakes here so far in the final, but again, Simon's degree of difficulty so high, judges have to take that into account.
Well, this is his first big contest of the year, and Simon admittedly saying he's a little bit nervous coming into this one, but he's still laying it down, man. 83.75, his best run. Simon certainly not happy with run #2. Gonna have to settle for run #1 score. Kutra out of Japan, looking to shake things up.
Oh, in the front of the bike there. You can watch those 2 switches right there so quick. Couple of hops to save it. And up and over with a decade to finish it up.
Hops his way to the back of the bike.
Nice little original ride out, playing it up to the crowd. Here again, watch how many switches up and over the bike to finish it off. Back wheel, and Kutra with a great run. I think we're going to see his little original ride out there, spinning the bike around.
I like it, and so do the judges. 86 1/4 bumps his score up into second place. Ryoji Yamamoto out of Japan, currently sitting in 9th. Almost nowhere to go but up.
Didn't have the best first run, but that's why they get 2 shots. Best run counts. Nice multiple tail whips. Staying on the front wheel, and a little 180 jump. Original ride out. Taking another look.
Ryoji Yamamoto, 7th place with 83 points. So here you go. York Uno takes the gold medal. Kotaro Tanaka earns silver. And Malaysia's Muhammad Hezlan earning the bronze medal. Congratulations to all of our riders. And York Uno, the man to beat out here today, taking home Asian X Flatland Gold. We have definitely seen some style out here in the finals today in Flatland. Congratulations to all of our riders. For Steve Swope, my name is Keith Allen. Thanks for hanging with us at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota.